Hi there, this is Tim with an Elite Dangerous video, and because everybody is going to be doing a video on the PowerPlay update and how PowerPlay works, I thought I would do a video on the aspect of Elite Dangerous that I'm still playing with, which is the normal mission system, because there's been a hell of a lot of changes in the PowerPlay update that really improve how it works in a big way. It's had a complete overhaul. Now, right here, as you might have seen at the beginning of the video, I took a dedicated smuggling mission. So I have some illicit cargo that I picked up from a station, and I'm taking to this other station, and this is a standard mission which is on the bulletin board now. Bulletin board missions also now require a rank, so you can actually not be eligible for missions now that that might actually be above you. So here you can see I've approached this station from the planet side, which allows me to get pretty close to the docking bay. Requested docking. I keep my speed up, have power to engines, and I keep boosting and boosting and boosting to get in this station as quickly as possible. I don't tend to use silent running when I'm smuggling, and it seems to work out pretty well for me. I'm fairly fast. I don't have much fear of just flying into the station. But I did take it easy this first time because I saw like a speeding sign, which I now understand is just basically a warning. You only actually get a fine if you actually hit another ship while you are speeding. But anyway, this is a smuggling mission that I've just made. I think it was something like 67,000 credits there. So that's not bad at all. So now moving on. This is an assassination mission, and you can see there it has a high effect on reputation. The required combat rank is mostly harmless. The relationship required is friendly. So basically you can see you now need these kind of qualifications to actually take this assassination mission, and you can see it's a 68,000 credit mission. And every assassination mission that I ever did in the past, it was me in whatever ship I was in taking on an Anaconda. You know, there was no variation whatsoever. Well, that has changed as well. You will see with this assassination mission that things are actually different. Found an unidentified signal source, which is where you normally find targets like this. Just approaching to 1 megameter, which is where I can drop into normal speed. There we go, I see 2 targets.
Power plant capacity exceeded.
And it's an eagle, and that is my target. They have a wanted status, and it actually says now mission target at the bottom left of the screen there. So I'm opening fire, and obviously going to be able to take out this eagle pretty easily.
Under attack.
So he's dead.
Target shields online.
And that's actually the mission complete, but I'm going to take out his wingman as well because he also has a bounty.
Frameshift charge detected.
He's actually trying to jump out before I can kill him, so I'm actually going to ram him.
Target destroyed.
Didn't actually need to ram him there, he was down to 0 before I hit him, but it's a tactic that I would use with smaller ships every time. So before I go and cash in this this mission, to kill that guy, I'm going to go to a station in the system that I'm in to get another mission to kind of do a return journey with. Even if it's a standard kind of courier mission, it's worth my time to go to a nearby station and see if there's something really, really interesting. Obviously, again, approaching from the planet side, which stops me jumping into the station behind it. So there we go, docked in this station. Have a good look at the bulletin board. But I think I only find the one mission that actually applies, which is a simple courier mission here for just over 6,000 credits, and I just have 21 minutes to complete it. Noticed here that there's actually an explorer mission as well, which is very cool. But that's all I was able to find, so I'm just going to take that that stock back to the station I started at. Approaching the station there, I noticed an unidentified signal source, and I thought, what the hell, you know, I have a few minutes to complete this simple package delivery, and I'll just check out what's in this unidentified signal. So I see a target on my scanner.
Capacity exceeded.
Select that. It's a simple sidewinder, and he's a pirate. He's got a wanted status, and it says pirate at the bottom left.
Under attack.
So I'm going to take him out. Ideally, I want my my scan for his bounty to finish before I kill him, which is what I did there. And then he explodes, and then all of a sudden you see some other targets come on the scanner. And it's another wing of pirates that have jumped in. So this is really interesting. This is something that we didn't have as a gameplay experience before the 1.3 update. So this really isn't just the power play feature that's been added. The general gameplay has been improved as well, which is really, really nice. And then look at the scanner now. All of those green dots there. You know, I'm mystified as to what they are, but I've got to kind of kill this guy before I figure that out. He's throwing off my guns there, and yes, I know that I can turn my targeting off, but there's no point. He's a Viper. If I turn my targeting off, then he can't throw off my target, basically. So there we go. That's him dead. And what the hell are all these green things? This is the police response. Look at that. I couldn't believe it. This is, for once, it makes the game feel kind of like a living environment, because this is the kind of response you would expect, rather than one ship turning up, you know, to try to attack some anaconda that you're fighting with, which, you know, the cop's just going to get completely creamed by the anaconda. You actually have now a sufficient response for most situations, which to me that feels a lot more realistic, and it's probably related to power play in that you know, this is an exploited system where there is high security, you know, so this probably is related to power play, but in many ways that makes the game feel more alive because of that. So anyway, I'm going to go and dock here now. As you can see, I do sometimes fly into the stations a little bit too fast. So delivering my package there and turning in my assassination. And here we have another assassination for, he's actually a pirate as well. He's part of the Vaquez, however you pronounce that, Brotherhood. And that's a pretty nice reward, 193,000. But I'm also taking on a courier mission at the same time, 2 courier missions at the same time. And here we go. This game now feels a lot more like Elite 2 to me with these mission changes. Previously, you know, I would find maybe 1 or 2 missions if I was lucky to go back and forth with. But because my rankings are so high here, and I have a lot of missions available to me, you can make genuine money now basically farming the bulletin board. It's not the kind of dead space that it was before. So I'm heading towards Meech Dock, which is where one of my deliveries is for, and just looking for my assassination target on the way. But it actually takes a bit of time to find this guy, which, you know, they seem to have varied it a little bit. Like in the previous version of Elite, essentially every single assassination mission that you had, you would be told he was in one system. You would go to that system and he was in a different system. You would go to that different system and then you would try, and eventually you found him. Well, now they seem to have varied that. Quite often they are in the system that you're told they're in, which is great. You're not wasting time going from system to system, just basically going into these monotonous zones, and the zones themselves, like I've shown you, have been improved. They're a lot more varied now. When I say zone, I mean these unidentified signal sources. So as you could see, the first one that I jumped into there was a couple of pirates. The AI is much improved in 1.3 as well. You know, these are sidewinders and eagles that are actually giving me a little bit more of a challenge than I was actually expecting. They maneuver very, very well, better than they have in any previous version of the game. They really do seem to be a lot better, and you'll actually see with the assassination target that I'm actually looking for, he's actually pretty good. I will freely admit that in the previous version, taking out a ship of his type with a ship of my type was pretty easy. It does feel slightly more difficult now in this version, and I have to say I'm really not disappointed about that. I like to fight the NPCs, and I'm really glad that they've got a decent update. Was getting really close to delivering one of my parcels there, but found another unidentified signal source, and it's just someone who wants to buy stuff, so I'm going to leave him and deliver my parcel to Meech Dock. The only thing that's really missing from the bulletin board is obviously passengers, which was a major part of Elite 2. I'm hoping that that'll come fairly soon. So I've turned in the relevant missions there, picked up another courier mission as well. And now I'm actually heading to another station in this system to drop off my other parcel. But I find an unidentified signal source first.
Power plant capacity exceeded.
So I've dropped into normal speed for this one because I want to show you the actual assassination, and it is a Python. Now he's mostly harmless, which means
Scan detected.
he's not that good of a pilot, but he's still kind of more of a challenge for my Vulture than I was really used to and kind of ready for. I put a little bit less power to weapons than I would have done with the previous version. I'm trying to make sure that I have some power to be able to boost to increase my lateral thrust rate. And you can see that he's started to spew out some cargo, and I've never actually really done this in the past because I always found it really difficult to find a black market if I was in kind of an unknown area like I am playing now, but I'm actually going to pick up his cargo.
Target destroyed.
I wasn't really going to do it first of all, but then I quickly checked the contacts and saw what he had dropped and thought, yeah, I'm going to pick it up. So yes, it's silver, so it's probably worth picking up. So I have 3 scrap, which is a part of a courier mission. So I'm trying to open my cargo scoop and it's not working. So I was a little bit confused by that. It wasn't the game's fault, it was my fault, but it actually took me a little while to figure this out. Maybe if you're watching the screen here, you might be screaming what's actually going on. Do you know what it is? I even went into the control options, made sure that I actually had a control set. And tried again, wasn't working, but then it dawned on me. I obviously have my ship fitting so that it uses all of the power, and when my weapons are deployed, my cargo hatch and everything switch off. They don't have enough power. So I had to retract my weapons so that I could deploy my cargo scoop. And that right there is a major indication that I never normally scooped from a target. But, so why am I scooping from these targets? Well, because with the PowerPlay update with 1.3, you can actually see when a station has a black market on the system map, which I will actually quickly show you. So this is the last one.
Cargo hold at maximum capacity. Cargo scoop retracted.
So basically, over on the left hand side under facilities now, you can actually see when there's a black market. Unfortunately, there was not one in this system, but I still have my delivery to make. So that means that I have to get into this station without them detecting my stolen silver. So basically I'm going to do exactly the same technique that that I use when I am actually smuggling cargo, which I guess I kind of am. And once I get out of the gravitational well of this planet that I was next to, approach Titius Station, and as before, approach between the planet and the station, if at all possible. Which, because of the direction that I've come from, I effectively am between the planet and the station. So that brings me out very close to the door, and boost, 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 and straight in there before I even get scanned. And docked safely. Redeem my bounties. Deliver my cargo and look for anything else that I can take to the station that I'm heading to. But I'm going to look and see if I can get a black market, and there you go. So the platform, which is in what's essentially recently been my home system, actually has a black market. Obviously checked the bulletin board to make sure there's nothing else, and then undocked. And because I obviously have illicit cargo, I got out of the station as quickly as I could and went into supercruise just to get out of there, and then I went into hyperspace. I'm heading towards Cuffy Orbital, which is where the black market is. Okay, so we're docked. Going to claim our bounties and sell our stolen silver. Check the bulletin board quickly to see if there's anything within the system because I was actually done for the night, and nothing there, so just heading back to what has essentially been my home station for a little while now. And I'm going to cash in my Python assassination mission. So as I close this video out here, I mean, this to me felt like very varied gameplay. Like none of the unidentified signal sources were the same kind of setup. None were the same kind of ships, really. The missions were all different. They required different rankings or different kind of standings, everything like that. It just seemed, well, the game seems completely different to me in a really good way, and really that isn't completely to do with power play. This is just them improving the mission system, and for me, in many ways, because I haven't got into power play yet, I still actually have to decide who I'm going to fight for. You know, this is awesome. This is me selling the gold that I picked up as a mission, the aluminum, which is how I say it, which I picked up as a mission, and turning in my assassination. So that is where this video originally ended. That was the end of my night's gameplay on Friday night. And then fast forward now to Saturday, and I took on a mission to hunt down Simon Austin, and after visiting many unidentified signal sources, I eventually thought of looking on the contents tab, on the contacts tab, sorry, and found him just flying around in the system. When I did, he dropped out of supercruise and obviously left an FSD wake, which I'm now going to follow, because it seems that Frontier have also updated how missions actually work. You might not necessarily find your target in an unidentified signal source now. You might find them just flying around in the system, which again makes the game much more alive, makes it much more realistic. You know, so it's a very good change for them to have made again. So here I actually didn't intend to take an assassination mission for an ordinary citizen who is clean, so unfortunately I'm going to get a bounty on my head for this kill, which in the power play update in 1.3 does not, it isn't something that you can actually pay off. It basically has a certain amount of days that it lasts, 5 or 6 days, where it's going to be on your record, and people can claim that bounty on you, obviously. You're a wanted criminal, so your actions actually affect you now. And as you can see with this location that I have to fight this battle in, I'm right next to this star. Anytime that I'm flying towards the star, anytime that I boost and increase my heat levels, I'm taking heat damage here. So this is a whole new aspect to the game, where it seems that this Simon Austin NPC is actually using his location within this system for his defense. This is where he chose to come out of supercruise after all. That's my shields offline. Pretty confident that I'm going to get him, but I'm not really sure how much heat damage I've taken so far. But at least my screen isn't cracked, hey? Oh, there goes my screen. But then he explodes, so that's okay. And then he has a wingman, which again I don't have to kill because he's clean, and basically it's just going to add to my bounty. But I figure, what the hell? It's another person who shot at me that I'm going to shoot back at. A little bit more difficult to actually hit him because he actually keeps using chaff, which is throwing off my gimbaled weapons. You can see the chaff coming out there, and you can see my gimbaled weapons just going all over the place. So I have to deselect him, which makes my gimbaled weapons fixed weapons, and then obviously I can shoot at him by turning my ship. But anyway, I was really surprised and pleased to see how this that this actually happened, and that's why I stuck it onto the end of this video. Is with my gameplay last night, I had no idea that they had changed where targets might actually be located. I thought that they would always be in the unidentified signal sources, and basically that was it. Well, no, not anymore. Now you can actually find them in ordinary space, and that makes the game feel much more realistic to me. I'm very, very happy with that change. So really, I mean, as I was going to say at the end of the video before I stuck this bit on the end of it, I mean, even if the power play stuff isn't something that you're interested in, just the ordinary gameplay updates to the existing content and the existing game are very, very good in version 1.3, and I hope people see that, and I hope people enjoy it, because I'm certainly going to. Anyway, thanks, bye.